So we're here at the tub with the repair section that we knocked up in the jig the other day, and we're just going to do a little test fit to see how we got on. So that slips into there like that, and what I'm trying to do is match up the holes for where the rivets go through. Now the first 3 rivets go through the original section, and what I was concerned about was trying to get the angle correct for the repair section that we've got here, and whether or not we got our rivet holes in the right spots. So let me get another couple of rivets and we'll see if they line up. So first one's good. Just put that out of the way. And that one's good. So we're happy. We can commit to the rest of the welding in this section. Now, it's always a good idea when you've got to rivet several holes together that you put a set of rivets in. There are special clamps available for this, the name of which eludes me at the moment, but if you put a series of rivets in like this, it's always a good way of aligning all your holes before you compress your first rivet. So that's all good. I'm happy with that. We'll take that back into the workshop and we'll finish off the welds. So we've got our jig screwed back down to the workbench, and what we're going to do is get set up for welding, and I'm just screwing a few screws into here to allow me to clean this up and jig it for welding. And the idea of jigging it is just to help prevent any distortion that we might have during the welding process. So I'm going to give this a quick clean up here. As you can see, we've already got the tacks on. We went outside and we verified it, and we're happy with our hole alignment. So I think what we're going to do is come in with the MIG, because we've got a bit of a gap to fill here, and I've never been too successful in filling gaps with the TIG welder, but I think if we're very careful with the MIG, we should be able to fill this and make a successful weld. So let me get set up for that. I'll be back in a second. Now what I've had to do, as you can see, is put a series of stitches across the gap. I'm going to do that first, and then I'll blast round the entire of it with one bead. So we've clamped it upside down in our jig, and we're going to prep the backside for welding. And that, my friends, is why you wear nice heavy gloves when you're grinding. No, I had the battery run out of the camera, but what I was doing, I was just knocking this down with a flat wheel, because this is going to be one of the entry and exit points of the vehicle. I don't really want any sharp edges. I was never going to get a pretty weld trying to bridge a gap like that, and the weld went on a little bit blobby, and as you can see I had to pulse it and just do little blobs of weld just to stitch it together, and then fill in between the blobs. And doing it that way doesn't put too much heat in the metal, helps to prevent it burning back, as opposed to just trying to go for a straight bead and bridge a 1/8 of an inch gap. So that's where we are with it. So I'm going to carry on dressing this down, and we'll see where we get to. We've got the nail polish remover and acetone, and we're just going to give this a quick rub over before we apply some paint on, to get all the oil off from my hands. And we're going to give it a nice generous coating of this, which is the Corollas S2 Rust Stabilizing Primer. I deliberately left this area here free of paint because that's where it's going to be welded to the sill section. We'll let this dry overnight. We'll come back and give it another coat of paint maybe tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.